Hey Seekers! In the last episode, we understood how our entire life we keep on searching for a cure for the discontent we carry in our hearts. But why are we so sad? What is this discontent all about? In case you haven't checked the last episode, do check it. But be careful. You wouldn't want to end up like one of my video editor team member snoring halfway through it. You guessed it right. It's that relaxing. Before we begin our journey, I would like to remind you that I have spent half of my childhood on a very scenic mountains and the other half in a nature-friendly town, which is the reason why I spent most of my childhood learning from nature itself. And that's why you may find many examples related to it. So bear with me. To begin with, I remember my father holding my fingers, showing me around this beautiful Maharaja Shivaji's fort in Pune, where I saw a tree growing over a huge rock. For the first time, it had amazed me. I asked him, how can a tree grow over a rock? I have seen plants dying in the beautiful garden. And he said, the plants which grows to be a tree over a rock doesn't have any expectations of outer support. It lives on its inner will, which is 1,000,000 times more powerful than all the outer assistance combined. I thought that was pretty inspiring. Then there was a time I got to see this gigantic river in Kolkata known as the Hooghly. When I and my mother were munching on a roasted corn and I asked, why do they call this sea a river? I did not really said that, but that's what I meant, I think I remember. And she said, this river wasn't always like this. It must have been a very tiny stream of water, no bigger than the tap of water we have at home. It just made great attempt in meeting the streams, who were just as little as the stream it was, to form a river which eventually completes its journey to the great ocean. I was like, okay, growth is in united efforts. Another cliche way mother was trying to teach me a lesson in a subtle way. Okay. But one thing was sure, I learned that both seed and that water stream had a fixed objective, which is why it had taken birth for, to become a tree and to meet the ocean. A water stream will have a sad and struggling life if it tries to be anything but a river. A seed will stay depressed if it tries to be mighty tree and fight with the rocks it's under. Only finding a way to be the tree it's meant to be will make the seed complete and happy. You know why animals are more happier beings? Because a horse does not have to learn how to run fast. So is a lion never taught the art of hunting. Similarly, a dog is never taught loyalty. Except for my dogs, they may be loyal but were taught to be less stupid when in my house. Each one of them know their role pretty well. That is why they are more happy than us humans. Human being is such a creature who is usually sad. This is so because we try to mold ourselves according to the expectations and rules of others. The reason for the sadness of human beings is similar to that of a bonsai tree. Though it wishes to become a huge tree, but when its main root is dissected due to some obstructive force or stress, it continues to remain dwarf. Therefore, it is unable to provide shade or bear fruits. You too must have experienced a similar kind of stress in your life. When you could have done something, you knew something but did not intervene. But under the sway of unfavorable circumstances, you ended up attaching your hopes to an unclear future. It is very possible that right now you are thinking about such a thing. Next time, try to take a deep breath and do the right thing which inspires you. I say you wouldn't ever regret it. Before proceeding further, I would like to tell you that this subject is magnanimous. Thus, it shall be discussed in 4 separate parts. But I promise it's only going to get more interesting. Let's first understand the barriers which make us slave of the circumstances. The first barrier is da. You guessed it right if you are thinking about religion. Such a cheater, you must have already gone through my Hindi version of it. Well, we attach all our hopes throughout the life to our religion. But on the contrary, the religion shackles us till the death, raising false hopes that I am here for you. I shall manage everything. You can prioritize your career and family until you grow old and most of your family starts ignoring you. But you must keep our gods happy by pushing your children into our facilities, so we can teach them how sinful they can be and how we are their only hope. Sounds funny, right? Well, that's what they mean in a subtle way. Still, we surrender our entire life to it. And it, within a fraction of a second, convinces us into believing that it has all control over our life. Because we are immature and does not know the reason for our birth. But as a religion is historic, therefore it forces one to believe that its rules could be scientific as well. And due to this, we never attempt to make our attention free for having any new kind of spiritual experience. You know what I'm talking about. The religious texts inform us that emotions like lust, indolence, envy, ego, and greed should be kept at a distance. This is because these emotions could lead to chaos at a religious place. Just think for a while that if these qualities are not considered as unworthy, then lusty people who are already happy shall never have a desire to visit a religious place for happiness. Similarly, if hot-headed people are allowed to express their anger, then this world would be so stress-free that there shall be no need for any worship centers, let alone the psychotherapy centers you want your wives to visit. Stop smiling. If one will not consider laziness and greed as bad qualities, then neither indolent lads would work to earn for their livelihoods, nor greedy people would donate anything for religious sanctuaries. And likewise, if one is allowed to be envious and egoistic, then humans would raise questions on the founders of religion. Ouch! That's going to be a serious threat to the ongoing system. In fact, if these outer religions were really bothered about us, then they would have tried to help us to get rid of fear, guilt, worries, and shame, rather than burdening us beneath the religious rules and laws. If any religion preaches you about right or wrong, then do raise the following question. When God has created us, then these weaknesses must also have been created by Him. And who has the right to consider the qualities given by God as right or wrong? Yeah, certainly ask this question. Yeah, probably gods won't be happy to hear it, but why not try it? This could be understood by gauging at the prehistoric times, when there were only 7 religions or worship methods prevalent in the world. These modes of worship were devised by the Saptarishis, the 7 pious saints. Some call these methods as Gotras. Even during the earlier times, some of debate or a warlike situation had risen between different Gotras. The ancestors of each Gotras considered themselves superior to others, and due to this tussle strengthened. And looking at all this, Saptarishis grew very upset. Therefore, they collectively decided to frame some kind of a strict rule in order to end the ongoing debate regarding the superiority of the Gotras, or say the religions. The rule was that a man of one particular Gotra could not marry a woman of same Gotra, or else that man and the marriage would be considered invalid. Wow, what a beautiful idea. With the arrival of this rule in society, different religions and Gotras started receiving the due respect. Thus, after marriage, the qualities of the Gotras of the groom benefited the bride and vice versa. As a result, people started using different worship methods or religions as per their choice. And due to this, a spiritual revolution took place in ancient India, and its philosophy was born. Likewise, now the world is divided into different Gotras, or say the religions. Therefore today, again the need of the hour is that the Saptarishis of different religions should come together, so that we could learn to have faith and love one another just like a human should do. I hope the Saptarishis of different religions are hearing me. Thank you. Please do it. And for today's practice, from now onwards, if you ever doubt that this religion is good or bad, then do remember this video. And if you find someone telling you about any sort of divisions based on religions, then do share this video with that soul. It is possible that this could help someone to make someone's life shackle-free. See you in my next episode. Thank you. Have a good journey ahead.